This is going to be a short video walk around this Olympus XA2 35mm camera with companion A11 Flash. And so I've put some batteries in here, and we're just going to take a look at the camera first. It's advanced all the way, so I can crank this and we can see that the shutter is operating. It's got a battery check, and we can hear that, and we can see the little light there. And it's also got a self-timer function, so we can activate that and see that the light is blinking and counting down. And there we saw the shutter operate. So that seems to be working. If we look here at the metering here, with bright light pointed at it, we can hear the shutter very quickly. If we make this darker here, and I'm going to block off this little sensor just for added effect, much slower. So we can see that the camera is operating, the metering is operating. And down here is where we can set the ASA, or as most people call it today, ISO. But what I thought we would do now is load up a roll of film, and the way we do that is to go around the back, pull up on the rewind crank, and open this up. Before we load the film, let's just look here. Every one of these that I have seen has had some gummy light seal material here, and this one has some. It's not as bad as some that I've seen, but definitely should have these seals redone at some point. It would probably take pictures the way it is, but it would be nice to have that done and get this material off of these edges. But in testing out the function of the camera, I have a scrap roll of film here, and we're just going to put that in, pull this across, and let's stick the free end into one of these so that it catches. Okay, the sprockets are engaged, so we can close the door, and then we're going to have to open this up, and we're going to pop off a few here. Here it's still not saying it's up to position 1 yet. There, now we're on position number 1, and it has cranked the portion of film that would have been exposed already into the canister. So now we can operate the camera, and we can see the rewind crank turning over here as we're advancing the film. So the camera seems to be functioning nicely that way. Here's the focus, and I can see some slight movement of the lens as I move this. The most common position to put this in is at this little orange picture, and I've heard that putting it there is a pretty good compromise, and while it's then fixed focus, it's a good position for general picture taking. But you do have a distance setting and a closer setting as well. And one nice thing about this is, as the clamshell is closed, it always pushes it back to that position. So if you forget to change your focus, the camera has already put it at the best position for general picture taking. Now let's set the camera aside for a moment and look at the flash unit. This is the A11 Flash. It's got contacts here that connect to the camera, as well as the screw that attaches it to the side. There's a little wheel here that you can set the ASA value, looks like 100 or full. I don't know exactly how that works. I don't have the manual for this, but I would think if you're using ASA 100 film, you'd set this to 100. I'm not 100% sure. If we look inside, this one has a very clean battery compartment. Often these flashes were left with a battery inside for years and are now a mess, but Let's test this out by dropping in a battery. The battery's not included in the sale, but it's just for test purposes. We can attach this to the side of the camera here with this thumb screw. Okay, and then to activate the flash, there's a lever right here. We'll push that to flash, and you'll see the flash pop up here, the little part. I hear a high-pitched whine that's going to continue until we see the light, and here we see it. So now we've got the flash is charged up and ready to go. So let's point this off to the side here and pop this, and we'll see the flash. I saw that flash very brightly. Not quite ready to go again. There it is. We'll do it once more time here. And it flashed well. To turn the flash off, you just push that down and you can go ahead and use the camera. What I'm going to do now is just use up the rest of the frames here of the scrap roll film so we can demonstrate the rewind process. This was a shortened roll, so there shouldn't be too many on here. Okay, we've reached the end, so I'm going to close the clamshell. I'm going to remove the flash just for ease of handling here. So now what we do is we push the little button on the bottom here, and that disengages the sprockets so that we can rewind the film back into the canister with a little crank on top. And you gotta keep cranking until you're sure. There, I heard it click free of the spool on this side. Now I'm going to open this because, oh, I actually did crank it all the way into the canister. So at this point we would send this in for processing, but these were not real pictures, so we won't do that. But we can see that the camera looks pretty nice all around and has the little strap here on the side, and it's a nice set with the companion flash, and we demonstrated that everything about it seems to be working. It would just need a set of light seals to be a really nice unit as it appears here.